welcome to Tech Fever, Play Everything's weekly tech podcast where we talk about the tech news of the week, everything from home theater to smart home and AI and robots and everything in between. Every episode will give you our favorite tech picks of the week, some tech steals of the week if there are any, and if you want to get a question read live on the air, you can send it into techfeverpodcast@gmail.com. I'm your host, Mike Doherty, and alongside me as always, Kevin Coello.
I got the fever. We got the fever.
No, we say that at the end of the show, you know?
We.
Kevin Coello, how are you?
Good. I just randomly, my throat got a little sore and I'm losing my voice a little. So, yeah, it sucks. That's weird.
Yeah, out of nowhere. You sound a little scratchy. A little scratchy.
Yeah, it feels a little scratchy. It's getting better. I didn't talk for the last 2 hours and it's getting better. So I'm sure that doing a podcast with you is going to make it, a little bit worse. But we'll get there and then it'll get better again.
Yeah.
Back to not talking.
You do the apple cider vinegar? Do a little gargle?
No.
A little gargle?
No, I believe in my body and whatever's happening, I'll fix it. I'll get there.
That's such a Kevin Coelho answer. Kevin, you've been playing with any new tech in the last week?
Yes, I have.
Well, let's talk about it, Big Daddy. Oh yeah, the pedals. The pedals make a return.
Did I show them last week?
No. But you were talking a lot about them. That's when you had the idea.
They were cheap. They were only $4 or 40. It was $40.
Where'd you get them on? Wish?
The cheap pedals. No, it was on Amazon. $40. They're really shitty.
But they do the
pedals.
Do they do the job?
They certainly do. I set them up as a MIDI controller, and then I tied them in with the vMix program that we use, and I'm in there. And it's crazy because I don't just use them for when I'm playing. I've been using them when I'm doing other stuff, just running the shows, these multicam shows. It just frees up your hands. And now I'm on keyboard and mouse fixing Cool Greg's computer while switching. It's pretty cool.
Did you is it a learning curve in terms of having your brain be okay, I'm using this for switching now? Why I'm multitasking up on the computer?
No. It honestly, it transitioned super smoothly where it went from me, there's a certain way that I sit where I slant over and I have my right hand on the keys ready to switch. So I'm constantly trying to remember which finger is who. And, with the paddle boards or these little paddle shifters, I was able to just, I have a reasonable way of thinking about it, where it's host on my left foot, then the whoever's gonna be really second in command, I'm gonna put on the right, and then Nick can go in the middle. And that system of okay, the two people that I'm gonna be switching between mostly, I'm gonna put on the sides, makes it really easy for me to immediately just shift from not using my hand to having my feet handle everything and me be on mouse and keyboard, literally working on something else. And I can hear them and I switch and I'm looking over because looking at two things is easy. I have no problem doing that. But going to hit the button, grabbing the mouse, it slows you down in a way that just clicking with your feet doesn't. And I know it sounds stupid.
I like how you do a dance dumb. Every time you mention clicking with your feet. You gotta do this.
Oh, that's because I'm clicking. You can hear it. No, maybe you can't. Can you hear it?
Now I can't. You broadcast.
Anyways, yeah. It's it's been shockingly easy to use and kind of makes me think oh man, I'd really want one of these that has maybe 4 paddles and then paddles where I can bump my toes up. Give me more options. You know what I'm saying? Let me get 8 buttons on here, maybe 2 more on the top that I can pull my feet out and kick. I want a little drum set because I can do a lot, and it would be really cool to try to switch between 8 cameras with something like this, and not just what 2 more of these because
You're
like
madman.
it's all over the place, you know.
You're madman. You are all over the place.
I love it. It's good. And then you could also have it so that up does something else. I haven't fucked with that yet. Cause it's like, where does it strategically go? And then I have to leave my foot down if I wanted to stay on a camera. But just a lot of the stuff to think about. A little bit of pre-planning, but it works well. For $40, I'm not complaining. You know?
Yeah. See, I mean, you seem to make it work. I feel like I would be like forgetting, or like I would have to really learn it, because even just on the stream deck, it's like, oh fuck, I forgot to do lower thirds. You know, every time we change subject, or you know, I always forget that. So I can't imagine adding feet into that.
I mean, that's the thing. Imagine if you just set it so that it is just one foot stomp and it starts the sequence that you have already pre-built.
Yeah, but I got it
So
on the stream deck already.
yeah, but you gotta move your hand, you gotta click it over. Like this is just like that's the coolest thing, that I don't have to click into the app. I know that the Stream Deck works the same way, but I gotta let go of my mouse. And it's one of those things, when I let go of my mouse, now I'm gonna have to grab my mouse and find out where it is again and be like, oh, there it is. What was I doing? You see what I mean? These
Yeah.
little moments that you're just saving the time. You're saving the time.
See, I'm also a creature of comfort, so I like my feet elevated for some reason.
No, I like it too.
I
And
love my
here's
feet
the
elevated.
Yeah, and I was using these for it must have been like day 4 of me using it, and we were doing a different game, and I was still switching between them, but I was like, man, I'd really like sort of like a little MIDI board wrist thing that's wireless. Then I could just lay back and sit here and go. I looked into it. Not a lot of great options.
I can't imagine there are. Yeah, that
Seems so
would be an
useful,
issue
though.
for me. God, you know what they need to make?
Oh, you know what I did
good
try?
desk like ottoman. You know, because I feel like I can't get my feet high enough.
I mean, I always put it on my desk. To do
Desk
this little
is
guy.
the most comfortable. Yeah, that's the most comfortable.
Absolutely.
That position right there. But I have the issue where, like, right now I have my feet on my subwoofer on my speakers.
Sure.
Not high enough. And then
No,
it's
it
even
doesn't do the
lower
job.
on the respawn chair. Like, yeah, they do a good job every once in a while, like the footrest, but it's just not high enough.
When I use the respawn one, I'll bend my knees.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's optimal
So
comfort, some might say.
when I when I was like sitting there, right before I like was like, maybe they sell some sort of controller MIDI board that I can like strap onto my wrist so that I can lay back and relax. I was actually grabbing this and I had it on my chest and I was switching like this. But I was like, I don't like this. This feels gross. That's where my feet are. I'm eating chocolate, with my hands. It's not what I should be doing.
One day, I mean, you could just duct tape a stream deck to your arm. You know?
You know what is the upsetting thing? Like, I get that you're joking. Ha ha, very funny. Did I think, should I get another Stream Deck and have it like with an extended USB so that I can get it? I did think about
Yeah,
it.
I
And
bet
I'm
you
not
did.
ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Because I have an extra one. What is the little Stream Deck? What does it have? 16 buttons?
Isn't it like 4 buttons?
No, that's the little baby one. Nobody wants the
You
baby
said
one.
little
It's
one.
embarrassing. Yeah, but I didn't mean the little baby one. Come on.
Yeah, 16, right? Hold on, let me do the math right now.
Because I have
No,
32
15.
on mine.
15 buttons. I'm
Is
looking
it
at mine right
5
now.
by 3? Is it 5 by 3?
5 by 3.
Whoa. I did not remember that was the shape that it had. Can you do me a favor? Can you flip my image?
Sure.
Because I keep facing this way, and I keep trying to make myself face that way, but it's not working. So, you don't have to do it that way. You can right click on it. Well, I mean, you're all right. Right click on it. Go
Oh,
to
you're right.
transform.
Got it.
Flip horizontal.
Oh.
It's weird that it moved. Shouldn't have moved. Unless you did the center. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I did.
Anyways. Okay. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
that
It's
go,
not
though?
embarrassing.
Did that work? No, that didn't work. Okay, no, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
All right, it's fine. I'm
Just keep
asking for too
talking.
much.
No, I got it.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at wearable MIDI boards. Is I guess what I'm saying now because that's the level of comfort that I'm trying to find. Wearable MIDI boards.
And they're out there, I'm sure.
If not, maybe I'll look into making some.
Or this is what you do: you get one of those like exercise sleeve wraps that hold a Stream Deck. You just slip it in there.
Wait, but they're not made to hold a Stream Deck.
No, I know, but
You're
I'm saying
saying-
you get one or you make one that specifically, or you just saran wrap it.
So here's the thing, and like this is where we're going away from the jokes. I've always wanted. You know Futurama.
Yep, I'm aware.
You know Leela has the like wrist computer thing.
The Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear has the thing that opens up and it has 2 buttons. I want a little more functionality than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, where I want a like wrist computer, and it doesn't have to be a computer. I just want a remote control fully programmable little box that sits comfortably on my wrist.
I'll tell
Is
you
that
what,
too much
Big
to ask
Kev,
for?
it's coming. Bendable, the rollable OLEDs, the OLED, the bendable displays.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a watch, and they're never gonna put it on your wrist like that.
So negative.
Sad.
Negative today.
I'm just saying it's sad.
Uh,
I wish there's this ring. I'm gonna send you the link. It's an Amazon product. Hold on. I'll do full screen it. Okay. And I can't imagine it works well, but you controlled stuff with motion.
I can't imagine this works well.
How exciting would it be just laying down going,
Look at this guy. He's flipping me off though. I don't like that. Wait, so these are rings, not wrist things.
yeah. I mean, this isn't what I'm talking about. This is more a MIDI board where I'm like, okay, if I do this motion, switch to the next camera, switch to the first camera, you know? But $250. I'm just doing research. I'll come back with you to see if I figured anything out in the future with these wearables.
I love it. So niche for such a fucking specific thing.
It's cool, man.
People listen to this show.
Not many.
Yeah, well, listen more. I always say, very strong
but
audience
not
listener.
like... Oh yeah?
Very strong audio listener.
What's up, audio listeners?
Most
Come
consistent.
watch the video.
Most consistent.
I look like shit. I'm tired.
What's going on with the shirt?
What do you mean?
Nobody's asked you, like, hey, why are you wearing that shirt?
Well, if it's a sweater, so yeah, no, they haven't asked me why I'm
Okay,
wearing
what's
this.
going on with the sweater?
I like it. I saw it at the store and I was like, you know what? It's like an autumn camo. And I said that I think this
I don't know,
works
camo
with
is
me.
the word. It does something with you, for sure. It does something for you.
I like Hunter Pence asked me if I was wearing it ironically.
And that's a friend.
Yeah.
And that's a friend.
But honestly, it's one of my favorite sweaters. I wear it all the time. Meanwhile, look at you trying to pretend you're Greg Miller again.
Because he has worn a flannel before. I hate you.
But it was like,
You know what's funny? I bought this for my dad's funeral.
wow,
I had
dressing up, huh?
I had no clothes. This is my funeral getup.
Cool.
What can I say?
Why are you trying to bring us down, dude? Keep going. All right?
There's no bringing down there. I haven't been playing with any new tech this week, but I did want to talk about something. I am thoroughly impressed with what I've heard from the Apple's M1 chip. I don't know if you read any of these articles. I don't know if you've seen any of these reviews around them. But I would say, and this could be a steal of the week too, because I know it's on sale on Amazon. The Mac Mini, the little guy. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
Very impressive with what
The
it's
stats.
capable of. There was a professional editor I was watching on YouTube, and he bought it, and he has a $3,500 MacBook Pro, and he says that he's going to be switching to just the Mac Mini with the M1 chip.
And that's what he does for a
Prof-
profession.
yeah, like a profession, because he was saying that
So
you
he can
know,
handle exporting times.
yeah, for the 4K for 4K editing, it's like super smooth. He only gets chugs every once in a while where he feels like he runs into more buffering on video editing on his $3,500 MacBook Pro. And I mean, you can do multiple monitors with it, whereas I think one of the
Yeah, I
MacBooks.
just can't imagine. Like, do you think that like they're not gonna have issues long term with cooling and like degradation
I mean, we'll
of the
see.
chip?
It's super
You know what I
super.
mean? Like that seems like a really interesting choice to make for something that like a laptop does a better job transferring like the heat, you know?
I mean, not with the. I mean, the
So
Mac Mini. I mean, they have them in the Macs as well. Like the MacBook Airs have the M1 chip. But I mean,
yeah, but like
the impressive thing on it is, yeah,
that's
it's
like
completely silent, and it is going to be interesting to see if, like, yeah, there is any downsides with this that we don't know of as of right now. But the fact that for what $800, $700, you have a guy who edits professionally being like, hey, like, I'm actually going to be switching to this full time. I like the compactness of it. You don't hear the fan, and I feel like I get just as much out of my workload, my specific workload, with this over you know my $3,500 Intel MacBook Pro. Because, and he made a great point too,
I
everything's
just
built
don't
around
believe
the
it.
processor. This is the only computer where everything's built around that a specific unit component in the speaker or in the laptop.
I don't know. I just have trouble believing that it's gonna work as a long term computing like or solution. It's wild to me because it's like 4K videos are hard for like decent computers.
Even
4K
really
video
good
editing,
computers.
yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, and like you can have a really good computer that handles things pretty well. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Uh, but like eventually you're gonna feel like the computer getting older, like there's gonna be an update for whatever editing system that you use where it just doesn't things don't go as smoothly.
I mean, we're gonna
And
have
it's
to
like,
see. That's all
yeah, I mean,
speculation.
yeah, that's true. We're gonna have to see. It's just one of those things that like kind of like freaks me out, but like it's cool. Like if this guy can do this and this is something that people long term are gonna be able to do, like that's rad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was the same as you. It's like, I can't be that good. Like, blah, blah, blah. A $700, $800 computer. And again, the only drawback side is you're going to have external memory, like an SSD plugged into it, because I think it's like only like 256 gigabytes, something like that you have for internal
Yeah, and
storage.
with 4K projects, that's gonna add up real quick.
Yeah,
Real quick.
but I clicked around, kind of watched some more videos, and I started seeing these articles pop up on like The Verge and Engadget talking about like even Microsoft's ARM chip that they have in their Pro X, Surface Pro X, uh, doesn't get the workload out of it that you do on like something like the Mac Mini. It's just really impressive. And then again, the more I saw of like more articles, and then I seen a bunch of YouTube videos coming out about it, about everybody who does editing and does like the creative workflow, absolutely love it, and like are kind of like sold on it, which is impressive.
Yeah, no, I mean it really is.
So I just
Like I
wanted
mean,
I
very
want to talk
impressive.
about I wanted to talk about that because I think that is very worth notable. And if you're looking for a computer right now, I think that's probably your best buy at $800 if you're going to be doing more of a
Wow, I
creative
mean,
workflow. I mean,
yeah, if
do
you
you think
wanna
it's
be in
something
that,
better?
It's just one of those things that like I don't feel comfortable like saying that unless I know that like that's a machine that's gonna last, several years. I know historically Macs have lasted and like been very efficient even under strenuous workloads. Like Nick does all our motion graphics, or he does a bunch of our motion graphics, like the intros for shows, and that can get extremely intense because he's like not the best at layering stuff in a
Yeah.
smart way. So the like this computer, like his old laptop, which at the time when he bought a new one, which is I want to say like a year and some change, his old laptop was probably 5 years old, and it was still able to handle stuff.
Yeah, and that's what Mac is
And
normally, or Apple
yeah,
is
and I just
notorious.
I just feel like we're still in that very very early phase of new chipsets and being implemented in a like new way where it's like I wonder if like your thousandth edit is going to be as smooth as your first edit, or are like whatever heat sink chemicals they're putting on there are drying off, and like the heat reduction or dissipation isn't as well as it doesn't work as smoothly as it once did.
Yeah, and I will say that, I mean, for $800, $700, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this thing, let's say, starts having problems in 3 years, I feel like even that, for like the amount that you got out of it for those 3 years, which I'm not saying that it will, but if that's the case, like I feel like $800 is not a bad deal for 3 years of heavy workload, or even light, or 4 years of light workload, or whatever it may be. If there was going to be degradation problems.
It's just one of those things. Like every time I've dealt with editing, or even not like editing, but like checking the audio and 4K footage, the whole computer
Chugs.
is like opening. Yeah, chugs. So it's like this guy's doing it no problem professionally. That seems that seems too good to be true for that price point.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Kevin. I thought the same exact thing for you, but I looked into it. So I thought, for my playing with tech, or whatever we call this segment, um, that I would just bring it to the table and say, hey, if you're looking for something, from what I've seen, obviously I can't speak to the life of it, but I'm sure Apple has done extensive reliability tests on this.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
But
So I would be interested to see if how this is in terms of lifespan. But I think if this just gets you by for 3 years, which I think it would get you by much longer, this is not a bad way to go. The M1 chip I am vastly impressed with. Like, and apparently there's rumors that Intel is actually really worried about this.
I mean,
So
they should be. I'm interested to see how what we see from Intel and AMD in the next. Man, see, I wonder how long the planning phases are. Like, is it like 3 years from now we're gonna see their reaction to this, or is that something we're gonna see next year? You know what I mean? Like, how much research and development goes into making something as insane as this, like processing chips?
well, and like I said, like, this is the first computer manufacturer to be like, hey, we're building everything around this processor. Like, everything that goes into this computer is built around the processor. And obviously you're going to get better results like that, because before you can't really do that with an Intel chip or a Ryzen chip, like, because it is so versatile. Whereas when you have Apple being super proprietary, yes, it has its downsides, but also, if you can make a more efficient computer with less and a cheaper price, that's not bad. And they're super portable. I mean, you can throw these things in like a bag. Like, if you work, at an
Yeah,
office, and then you come home and you want to use it at home, you can literally, if you just have the cables there at your workstations, you can just throw that thing in your bag and you're good to go. Which is pretty cool, I must say.
have you ever looked at what is this thing called? Hold on, the Scorpion.
Have I ever seen a scorpion? A couple times. Used to fight
The
them.
Scorpion. No, you didn't. You never would.
No,
Scorpion. Go to Amazon. Write Scorpion desk. You know what I'm talking about?
no. but I'll check it out. Oh, it's I think I've seen this. It's like where it wraps around you, right? And then the monitors come
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Oh, Scorpion Death suddenly doesn't work.
I don't think you can find it on Amazon. I don't think that's on market yet.
Scorpion. No, it is. It's like $3,000, maybe $4,000.
Oh, I see it.
Too expensive for your normal person. What'd you search for?
Scorpion Get Desk Gaming.
Okay.
This guy right here.
That's definitely like a different one. There's one that like looks like a scorpion. Anyways, but it doesn't matter. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at these are also like there's like a bunch of companies or there's a bunch that are like insanely expensive, like $38,000, and it's like I wonder what that one does differently. You know?
Man,
Can you imagine that being your workstation?
it'd be pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's another one, but
They had a desk like this at Beta Brand. Remember we've talked about this store before over by Santana Row.
this guy, right? This is what you're talking about?
This is like a cheap knockoff version of that.
This is 20 grand.
Yeah, I don't think this is a real product. I feel like these are fake.
What do you mean?
But like, because there's one that is. Let me see if I'll just Google it.
Kevin, one day these legs, they're gonna move. You know what I mean? And that excites me.
That seems terrifying. Yeah, no real reason to bring that up other than it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. This is Tech Fever, man.
Yeah.
Needs more RGB, if you ask me. If I do say so myself. Look how comfortable she looks.
I think you're right. See, like, hold on, now I want to find the original.
That's maximum comfort right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's so comfortable that it's gonna become uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do Tech Fever like that. I'm just gonna be like.
God. I mean, you kind of lay that way already. Remember, I've told you a whole bunch of times, like, sit up.
Again, I'm a creature of comfort, Kevin Coello. There's not much I can do about that.
Absolutely.
I hate this microphone.
You hate the stand, right?
Yeah, the stand.
I guess that is the one you showed me. $3,500.
Not bad. Not a bad price.
No, I thought I saw one with a video. Dude, it like lays down fully, and while you're laying in it, it does that. Like you'll go and sit on it, and then it'll go, and it looks like the most comfortable thing in the world.
Scorpion Desk, hit us up.
Yeah,
we'll do a review. Our 35 episode or 35 viewer show. Give us your $20,000 chair. All right, let's talk some tech, Kevin. This piece I jumped into, or this article I added. Jeff Bezos is stepping down as CEO of Amazon. Jeff Bezos, the CEO and founder of Amazon, announced today that he plans to step down as CEO this year. In Q3, he'll transition to the role of executive chair of the Amazon board, at which point Andy Jassy will take over as CEO. In the executive chair role, I intend to focus my energies and attention on new products and early innovations. Bezos wrote in a letter to Amazon employees. Andy is well known inside the company and has been at Amazon almost as long as I have. For the letter, it sounds that Bezos intends to use the time he has outside of running Amazon's day-to-day operations to focus on other initiatives, including the Day One Fund, the Bezos Earth Fund, Blue Origin, the Washington Post, and many other passions. Despite stepping down from the top role at Amazon, Bezos says this isn't about retiring, so it seems that we can expect him to remain involved in the company. This is huge.
This is wild. This is a big deal. Right?
I mean, came out of nowhere.
Very curious to see what happens with their stock prices. Like long
sure
term, once the transition of power happens. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm sure they'll be fine, but it's just one of those things. I'm very interested to see that that first week. Do the numbers dip, you think? Do they stay solid?
I think Amazon's almost too big to like
Too
be
big to fail.
affected
Say
by
that about
this.
the Titanic.
Yeah, I mean, never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but it is one of those things where.
I think the Titanic happened long ago that you could make a joke and no one's gonna get mad at you.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say a Titanic joke. No, but it is one of those things where I feel like they're too big to be affected, like their stock prices at least to be affected by something like this. I think it would have to be a more long term wear and tear. Like you might see it go down a little bit. I mean, nothing to where it's like drastic.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that it won't be like the end of the world for them, but I do think that it could be. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if it like it drops like 8%.
8% is pretty steep.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I see it maybe a couple dollars, like a little blip in the day, but
A couple dollars is like, you know how much Amazon shares are right now? Let me see, AZN.
isn't it? Yeah, isn't it a couple hundred? I think it's a couple hundred, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was more than that.
Oh no. Yeah, no, it is. You're right. $3,000.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. $2,600.
Exactly.
That's insane. That's crazy. Holy shit. I mean, I know it's gone up so much, but it has gone up so much since I sold.
Shouldn't have sold.
Yeah. No, I should have.
But I'm just interested to see if they push forward on, like, I know he said they're pushing forward on the going all in on games. What things are going to change, like how this affects tech? Because, I mean, they do make tech. Like, they engineered the home assistant. Like, they were the first trailblazers of home automation, to be honest. To a mass market?
Like, it sucks. It sucks is what I'm saying.
It doesn't.
I mean, I don't use it.
Yeah, so I mean, I just thought I'd throw that in there because that is a pretty big thing, and Amazon has got their paws and everything.
Definitely, that's some wild stuff.
I think that we might actually see like a Google Glass variant from Amazon fairly soon.
You think so?
They're already testing it out with the Echo frames.
Yeah,
but it's not AR, obviously. But
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Because it's like the technology doesn't seem to be there yet.
The technology doesn't seem to be there for drones, home security drones.
It is. Are you kidding? Like, there are multiple companies that make drones for home security purposes.
Yeah,
backyard mostly. There's at least one company.
I'm sure somebody's nailed Google Glass, but
yeah,
like I
said,
said,
they got
just
bought
mass
by
market.
Google, and now Google's going to do nothing with them because that's what Google does with companies they buy. Like Nest. Can we talk about them for a second?
Yeah, what's going on, dog?
Something we didn't bring up. Nothing. You know what I mean? Like nothing at all. Remember when CES happened?
Yep.
And we didn't talk about Nest at all because they made no announcements? What's up with that? That's fucking weird, right?
I mean, you got the pricing that you always wanted, right?
I mean, that wasn't CES. That was like
I know, they're done. They nailed it. Is there really much more to do?
No devices? Like, it's just weird. I wonder if they were planning to have the Sabrina, that was what it was called, right? Or Serena?
Sabrina was the Chromecast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the speakers, was that meant to be a CES announcement? Because I feel like that went out in maybe October.
Yeah, it was out of the blue.
But, I think it leaked. But also, Walmart already had it in their stores, a week later.
Yeah,
I don't think that sort of distribution isn't that quick. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was a CES thing. I think Google's kind of just on their own calendar, as one might say.
I mean, it's not a great calendar, though. It just seems kind of out of whack. I'm pretty disappointed, I'd say, in Google with their lack of products and with Stadia being such a fucking disaster. God, it's upsetting. I hate it all.
Yeah, I mean, this time last year you were very high on Google. Now it seems this year you're bummed out, which it makes sense because I feel like they're not pushing the tech world forward in any way, shape, or form. They're just kind of
Right?
they're
And
just
like
kind of there in the water, just kind of
last year they were
chilling
doing some
out.
interesting stuff, or at least, you know, failing at doing interesting stuff, and now they just haven't recovered. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, all of the Stadia companies closed, or the two game developers. Like that sucks. What does this really mean for Stadia going forward? Ugh. Probably
And,
nothing great.
and it's weird because you see Amazon doubling down on stuff like that.
Yeah, but also like we'll see if Amazon like I could see Amazon doubling down and then later being like, never mind, just kidding. We didn't want to do anything with that.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's the weird company where they just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks and then just roll with that. But I mean, they've spent a ton of money in game development. I mean, they already have a game that's bound to come out this year with New World, and I'm
Yeah, but
interested to see.
they're the only developers that I can think of in modern times to release a game and then be like, you know what? We're taking that back. Like we're unreleasing it. Our bad.
Yeah, different
Right?
studio. I mean, you almost had that with Cyberpunk. I mean, at least with the refunds.
Okay, but that's not the same.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I guess you can say that that's similar in the sense that like eventually Amazon was like, hey, we're like gonna take it off. Like everyone will give you your money back, which that caused PlayStation to be like, well, fuck you then, and they took it off the store. But you can still get it on PC, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and you could still
oh,
get
you can
that
also
game,
still get it on Xbox,
but it was like back in like a beta or whatever.
but you can't. No, for
Now
the
it's taken
Xbox.
off. Now it's taken off. No. I'm talking about the Amazon game. I forgot what it was called.
Oh yeah. That's been taken off probably, but that wasn't just a beta; it was an actual release of the game.
No, they put it back into beta,
Yes, and then
and then they
removed
eventually
it.
took it off completely.
And that's even crazier. It went back for it was released and then became a beta. That's wild. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things like game development is really hard. So even like a company as successful as I mean, shit, we can even talk about Microsoft. Like it took them a while to get a strong foothold in gaming, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and some say they might not even really have it still, but
Yeah. Some might.
but it's more effort than Google's done around gaming. To be
No, I
honest,
know. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That like I bring that up because they also like they bought Nest, and if you go to the forums, like and like I know people bitch on the internet, but like it's really slow when I open up my cameras. And on the forums everyone's like it used to be a lot faster. It sucks that like whatever Google's doing doesn't seem to be making things faster. It's making things slower. Um it's one singular price that's awesome. Like that's cool. But I don't know. I'd like to see more things. Like it's crazy. They don't have like a floodlight they sell.
yeah, that is weird.
You know?
A non like a
Yeah.
Nest floodlight. It
Yep.
will we'll see from them. I'm sure we'll hear from them this year at some point. Maybe.
I don't know.
Actually,
See, I'm not entirely sure.
well, next piece of news: SpaceX SN9 Starship ends in another fiery inferno. Another launch
Sucks.
and another unsuccessful landing attempt by one of SpaceX's spacecrafts. After a week of drama involving the FAA, SpaceX tested its latest Starship prototype SN9 out of its Texas launch facility on Tuesday afternoon. After the craft successfully lifted off and ascended to 10 kilometers above the surface level of the planet, it ran into trouble. You can see where things go awry, which I'll play for you in the live stream. Quote, we're preparing to restart two engines, flip the vehicle vertical, and then transition to one engine for the landing burn, the person narrating the action says.
Doesn't work out that way though.
No, I did. I didn't watch this live. I know some people watch this stuff live. Give you a little sound here.
Land in trouble.
Fucking dog and the cat. Jesus Christ. You know, leave him alone.
10 seconds into flight, we're down beneath 1.5 kilometers. We're preparing to.
I've just never seen.
I'm
I mean, I've seen
not-
video stuff like this happen, but
One engine for the landing burn.
I'm not getting any audio.
Sorry, I think I only got the audio.
It's okay. This is so impressive and cool. And then, but no one died, right?
Yeah, no one died, so that's a good
So
thing.
that's good.
We've evolved past that.
Also, he didn't accidentally blow up the other one.
Oh, was there two?
Isn't there one right next to it?
Oh yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, see to the left. Oh, you keep switching.
Nice respect.
So yeah, I mean, these things are gonna happen. I'm sure that cost millions of dollars. But what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's part of learning stuff. There was I was watching some aerospace engineer that was talking about the what was it? Was it Discovery that crashed? No, the
Challenger.
one that crashed. Challenger. Thank you very much. And he was saying like, yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing that happened, and like the only good thing about it is that like we can look at what went wrong and make better, like learn from it essentially.
Yeah.
Where it's like with that they realized like, oh, the tiles on the top of it were wearing down, and like we need to take care of those. So like, that they learn from it, and in the future it keeps issues like that, like other deaths from happening. So same thing with this. Like I'm sure that prototype cost an obscene amount of money, and that's gone. But hopefully this makes it so that when they actually try it with people, they don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Elon, because we've seen one of these land successfully back down, which was very impressive.
But it was a different one. It wasn't the like rocket. I mean, it was a rocket, but it's just the one that's a tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's fucking wild. Now we've seen it land successfully many, many times at this point.
Now we just gotta see if we can get this. I mean, I don't think Elon obviously understands that this is what happens. Like this is what's gonna happen. This is why they're trying it with nobody on it. It's not like they're like
can you
this is gonna be
imagine-
successful every time.
Can you imagine how wildly embarrassing it would be to be running the control board and that happened, and for them to just be like, all right, that's streaming out to the world.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we can do about
I feel
that.
like everybody knows that this is kind of the drill on this, and it's just crazy what we're doing in space. Like what we're doing in space and like what we're trying to do, I think we're gonna see some big, huge jumps in the next 3 years.
It's crazy that like when was hold on, let me see.
I mean, you also got Biden saying he's not getting rid of Space Force. That is a standing branch of the military.
That's good. It just seems like it like has a dumb name. You know what I mean?
I like the name.
I know you do. But it's so stupid.
It is, but like that's what's crazy. It's like obviously there's something that we're trying to do in space. Like, is it aliens? Yeah. Could be.
No,
I feel like there's a good chance.
I think we don't have to go that far, but like, it's full of resources, and like is another front that we can explore. It's just interesting that like this is being done by a private company, and more power to them. They got to keep going. Like they're getting there.
Yeah, I mean,
like not all their ships explode.
No, yeah, but that's the thing where it's like I think they're gonna nail this, and I think we are really gonna have like we haven't. If you think about it, just in history, like we haven't gone this hard in space exploration since the space race. Like since getting to the moon.
Sure, you mean humanity as a whole. The thing is, like the space race was for, like that was our country,
Yeah.
Like because of that, computing technology advanced at a much faster rate than I think it would have organically, and that is such an important thing to where we are right now. Like. Yeah. That planted the seeds that led us all being able to have computers and phones and all this stuff. And it's just one of those things that like, it's weird now that like the big leaps in that are not being done by like NASA. You know?
It is weird, but I mean, they seem to be getting it done.
Yeah,
Like,
but what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, whereas it's like, if NASA works on something, eventually that technology leaks out. It doesn't leak out, but like the government owns it, so it's easier for it to like spread.
yeah,
Versus if what's his
SpaceX,
name?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Thank you. If SpaceX develops some crazy transistor that is more efficient than anything else, and like, why wouldn't they just keep that for themselves? Like, yeah, people are gonna like be able to figure stuff out, and uh, you know, company espionage stuff, but like, it kind of bums me out. Kind of bums me out. I feel like our country moved away from that in a way that like.
Well, I think
just
it's a hard sell
sad.
to be like, we're going to throw billions of dollars at this one thing. And then obviously as a public being like, you're going to see your government blow up spaceship after spaceship trying to get it launched.
Yeah,
Like,
but the
it
thing
becomes
is,
a
like,
harder
we
and harder
throw
sell.
hundred x billions towards military stuff,
Yeah,
and it's like, I wonder how much of that is essential.
SpaceX.
You know?
No, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Or Space Force, that's what I was going to say. That's what Space Force
Yeah,
is for.
Space Force. That's right, Space Force. Let's weaponize the skies.
Speaking of Elon Musk and his spaceular activities, that's a word.
Spaceulars, yep.
Public beta testing for SpaceX's satellite beamed internet service kicked off late last year for people in the US, Canada, and the UK. And the FCC application PDF tells us a bit about how things are going so far. CNBC points out the filing, which seeks designation for Starlink as an eligible telecommunications carrier, and notes that SpaceX reports over 10,000 people are already using the service. Now, they have 1,000 satellites in orbit, and they're going to be launching. They just launched some more, but basically, I think it's.
Is it just 1,000, or do they have a lot more than that?
I think they just launched like more, like I think like 3,500, something like that.
Yeah, they had
recently.
some record like amount of satellites launched at one time, right?
Yeah, and I think their government contract to be able to do this, I believe it's something crazy like 40,000 that they're supposed to get up there.
Yep.
To fulfill the contract before it becomes becomes void. But one reason I wanted to bring this up is because we've actually seen people use this and it work, and it's very impressive. Now I don't know if you've seen the latest Linus Tech Tips. I think this came out yesterday.
No, I did not.
This is actually him. So this is what you get, the starter kit. It's $500 for the starter kit. It comes with the antenna and the router and this beefy Ethernet switch, essentially. And he games on it, and he browses 4 different 4K, like he streams 4 different 4K videos at once on it. And it all works really, really well. The one downside...
This flipped the other way.
Well, sorry, I'll have to flip that back.
It's fine. It's one of those things where it doesn't matter.
But yeah, so basically on this thing, where's the part where he pulls up the YouTube videos? I should have this time marked. So yeah, you'll notice right when he connects, hold on, I want to show it. The one issue with this I've seen is the ping. Your ping is like, look how long that takes. You know, but once you get to the videos...
He's not running speed tests at all? Like, he doesn't have actual speed
he
test
does.
numbers?
He does at the end. So hold on, let me get it.
Yes,
Get it here. So this is the. Hold on, no. I wanna see. This is all 4K video. He's running 4K videos at once. There's no problem loading. I think one time they all stopped to load, but something like the comments not loading, that has to do with the ping of the actual the connection. So at the end here, where's the speed test? He loses connection for a second too as well. I know. Fill time. I'm trying to get the speed test down.
Are there any concerns with the Kessler syndrome, which I had to look up because I know it's a thing, but I couldn't remember the name of it. Now, that is the idea that you can get too much junk in the sky, and then one catastrophic error, like one of these satellites goes where it's not supposed to, and it hits another satellite, causes the satellites to explode because they're going real fast, right? And then now you have fucking bunch of shards shooting everywhere, and that catastrophically hits into another one and another and another, and then eventually you just have a bunch of shards in space going super fast, making space travel impossible.
Yes. So this is actually addressed in this video as well. So right here you'll see
Oh, this is distance. All right, well, never mind. Fuck
no. This is how they're going to be doing it. But the one thing with these is obviously that's a concern because, like you said, one thing getting knocked into another thing can cause a bunch of things to go wrong.
Gravity.
Yeah.
The movie Gravity.
So essentially, basically at the end of these things' life cycles, they have fuel in them just to get out of the way. So it will actually launch itself. No, not to go back to Earth, but launch itself into like death that's not in the direct atmosphere.
That's really tricky to do, though.
But I mean, that's how it does. That's how it's doing. And right here, it's actually showing how if you're not in the ideal position, it will shoot it up to one, send it to another, and then send it back down to you.
It's really cool
For the connection.
It's really cool. So what do the numbers look like?
Hold on, right here.
Thrust.
Here we go. So looks like you have a ping of
27.
27.
27. That's
138 download, 23 upload.
not bad. Not bad at all. 23 upload is pretty sad, but like they're getting there. Wow.
But the ping obviously is why like comments don't load fast enough. It's obviously why like the thumbnails you saw take a minute to load in because it's each individual piece of information, whereas the videos had less trouble because that's just one piece of information. So that's where ping comes in and why that's an issue. But I was impressed.
Call of Duty, and you're like, I shot, but it didn't start shooting.
No, that's different. Even games. So this is him playing games on it too, actually.
The ping heavily affects, right?
It can. I mean,
I think it does.
well, I'm trying to see too, because he didn't seem to have.
Actually, 44.
Didn't seem to have an issue with this, with the actual like ping in the game.
That's fucking rad, dude. This is crazy.
Because even shitty first gen internet, was way worse than this.
Yeah, 100%. Does he at any point address the what is it called? The people's concern that it's gonna like make it hard to see stars and shit? Does he bring it up in this video?
No.
Interesting.
Linus doesn't care about stars, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I heard he hates them.
But I was super impressed with watching this, especially the way their satellite works. It's basically like military grade satellite receiver that they have, where it's a bunch of little satellites, or not
Little
satellites,
arrays.
arrays on the actual antenna itself. Pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. Really cool. I mean, this is amazing. If they can actually get this technology down, like, can you imagine?
Right,
'Cause, like,
there though. Right there though, that's pretty down.
Yeah, but right now it's just between one, like, a narrow band in like the northern hemisphere. They can get it right. It's not across.
It's less so now. That was like right at launch.
But I'm still like, you can't use it in Guam.
I don't think so, not yet. But I mean, you can. Yeah. Linus Tech Tips, isn't he LA?
He's Canada.
Is he Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So from what I heard, it was like I can't remember exactly where it was, but like I believe it was like around Seattle, but around just the United States. Here, actually, I'm pulling up a map right now. That didn't work.
But here's the thing. Even with obviously it's not everywhere right now, but like
maybe
that's
it
not
is.
bad.
$100 all over the place.
$100 for that is not. I mean, it's not. You can definitely do better, but I mean, if you're on like a boat, like my brother works on a yacht, He's like the first mate on like the super tiny yacht in Alaska. He doesn't have any internet out there.
So
You
like a
get
travel yacht, or like are they
like a charter
fishing,
yacht.
or the
Yeah.
first mate?
Yeah. And he has no internet out there. All of a sudden, you can get one of these antennas, install it, and I mean, you have pretty decent internet.
I mean,
Right?
that's the long-term plan. Yeah, that's the long-term
I mean, even
plan.
right now, I'm trying to get him to sign up for it because he's in that hemisphere.
It's not the right word.
Whatever. He's in the area. But like you just said, where can you get Starlink? You said the map, you can get it in a lot of places.
Yeah, and it's so what I was gonna say before you so rudely interrupted me to give me your opinion.
Yeah.
Was that like, can you imagine someday, this is like a global thing, right? Anywhere in the world, you're gonna have a connection. That's something that like I would pay as a separate service. Like, it's fine. I'll have fiber in my house for that consistent internet, but like when I go to travel, like it would feel really cool to be like, all right, I'm gonna go to the Mojave Desert. I don't have to worry about internet because I've got this other plan, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the ultimate goal, is to be able to have like these little things that we can carry with us that give us Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like that would be awesome.
That'd be so cool if you can just throw out a little dish, it opens up, and it's like, oh, there's my satellite dish.
Even imagine for what you do. Imagine working in E3 and being able to have, 2,000 download.
Yeah, but the
43
problem there
upload.
is like you constantly, at least when you're on like not the E3 floor, but like right above it, there's like you don't have cell service because there's
Sorry, just
there's
keep
so
talking.
many signals coming around. So it's just one of those things that like I don't imagine, because like guess what, we're gonna Kind of Funny is gonna buy one of those things. They're gonna have it set up, but every other venue is also gonna have one set up. So it's gonna be the thing where it's like no way can it handle 4,000 signals going out in a radius that's less than a mile. You know?
Eventually we'll get there.
No, I don't think so. Like
Yeah.
right now, when you have, like you go to a stadium, your phone is gonna like have trouble connecting because of how many people there are crammed together.
Yeah.
You know what I
Ah.
mean? And like phone technology, I feel like if I were to ask you before this question, if phone technology, do they have it? You'd be like, oh yeah, they got it. They got it down.
I mean, they got it down to an extent. But yeah, no, they don't have it all the way down. I mean, that's why 5G, that we talked about this last week with the Sony phone, the stupid Sony phone. $2,500 Sony
5G,
phone with the 5G.
Yeah.
With there's less people on 5G, so like you can probably get away with
For right now. Yeah,
for right
maybe.
now. I don't know, but it's exciting. I was impressed with it. Go check out that video on Linus Tech Tips. I thought it was really informative. Thought it was really cool to actually see Starlink working in action, and it didn't seem like they had too many problems with it. So
It's really cool, yeah. I'm actually very excited to see that video. I'm a big fan of the Linus Tech Tips.
well, Kevin, thank you for joining me on Tech Fever this week. The short news day, but if you have any questions for next week's show, you can send it to techfeverpodcast@gmail.com. Of course, like, subscribe, share on YouTube podcast services. It helps us out. It helps us get bigger. So like I said, this goes live every Thursday, 10 a.m. We haven't missed, we've missed them, but like on the days that we record, we haven't missed a Thursday, 10 a.m. in a while. I sometimes forget to tweet it out. So if I don't tweet it out, just go check. It's either there, it's not. You know what I mean?
Go check. You'll find it.
If we recorded that week, it will be there. If we didn't record that week, it won't be there.
Nope.
Again, yeah. So you can follow me at Cheeks_Junior on Twitter. Sorry, I lost the thread on where I was going there. To stay up to date on everything, Play Everything. And again, subscribe to youtube.com/Play Everything to stay up to date with everything that we do. Watch all the content that we're doing. You can follow Kevin at Kinda Funny Kevin on Twitter. Stay up to date with weird sweaters with leaves on them. And probably see a picture of his dog.
What's your shirt? What shirt are you wearing?
Probably see a picture of his dog.
What
you
is
know
it?
what I mean?
You got a painting? Is it a video game or is it just a painting of?
And you
I
can
don't
watch
know,
what
a
Kevin
giant
does
wave and maybe some mountains.
on youtube.com/Kinda Funny. Kevin, thank you for
Stand
joining
up,
me
let me see
again.
your shirt. Stand up, let me see your shirt.
Right there, it's mountains, because that's where I'm from.
No, bullshit. You're not from the mountains.
Right there, I live right there.
Do you really? Is that Big Bear?
No, it's not Big Bear. Well, until next time.
We have the fever.